Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry, the original creator of the FolkArt one-stroke painting technique. Welcome to the Let's Paint Studio right here at Plaid. Learning to paint has never been as easy as when I teach you how to load a brush with multiple colors where you can blend, shade, and highlight with one stroke of the brush. Our new program with Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke this year is going to be all about learning how to paint 50 different types of flowers. And as you can imagine, 50 flowers makes the possibility endless to be able to paint floral designs. I'm thrilled that you've chosen to join me on this one-stroke journey. So let's paint. I'm excited to paint a magnolia with you today, and we're going to use a reusable teaching guide to get started. And on the guide, we've got FolkArt multi-surface colors that we're going to be using, and let's talk about those. We have a wicker white and a licorice to make the flower, and then we have sap green, yellow ochre, and magenta. We're going to be using a 3/4 inch flat, a 12 flat, and a 2 script liner. Now the first thing we do is we come on the other side of the reusable teaching guide and we practice our strokes on here. And the first thing I'm going to practice when we're going to be painting this magnolia is the branch in the background. All right, then we're going to be doing the leaf and then the floral. All right, so let's get started with our practicing here with these branches and all. The next thing you're going to find is it has all the colors right here for you. And it's going to tell you that we're going to mix a brown, okay? So we're going to pick up some yellow ochre, magenta, and we're going to add a touch. We're going to make sure we have plenty so we can use it. We're going to add a touch of licorice. So that gives us a brown. And it's actually a pretty good brown. All right. And I like the magenta in it because sometimes these branches look a little reddish. Now we're going to take this 12 and we're going to take on the chisel. This is your chisel. We're using the double loader for our paint colors. And it helps you keep a nice clean load instead of a muddy load. It makes it easier for you to paint. So this is the branch that we're going to put in, and then we're going to add leaves to it. So I'm going to come right over here really quick and do the same branch that I just showed you. So we're going to come in around and we're going to actually put our flowers sitting here. Okay, so right here's the main branch. I want to get a teeny bit more licorice. All right. And then what's going to happen is I have a little bit of a little branch off, a viney branch off of the main branch. So I would say it's a new branch, okay? And then we come out here where we're going to put the leaves. So coming down like this, then we have a nice big magnolia and we're ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to work on is let's do this leaf. And we're going to wipe off this first with a wipe here, a wet wipe. And we're going to wipe this off. And we can use a wet paper towel either way. And then we're ready. It's got a coating on here so we can practice on it and keep working over and over. All right, so now what's going to happen here next is we're going to look at these leaves. And so I'm going to double load my sap green and maybe even put a teeny bit of brown in it, but we can start with just a sap on this 12. All right, and we're going to slide up and go to the point, flip the brush over and stand up, and then pull a stem in the middle. All right. So one of the things we can do, because magnolia leaves do have brown in them, is I can put some of that color or some yellow ochre in here just to get some shade, okay? All right, so we know where those are going to go, those leaves. They are going to go around the flower. So I actually want to put those in there when I paint the flower, okay? So we're going to turn it this way, come back over here, and we're going to practice the big blossom, and then we'll come back and do the center later. All right, so let's pick our 3/4 inch brush up, Lay it on the paper towel to get your excess moisture out of it. Now we're going to pick up a teeny bit of licorice when we split that brush, and then we're going to come in here and work it in. Okay, so we just need a lot of paint in the brush. Oops, I got a little bit more. Okay. And we just want a light gray because it's white on white. I want you to be able to see what we're doing. Okay. And one way to see if you're getting that color, see it's too dark still. All right, so then there we go. All right, so let's practice these strokes. We're going to come up this way, go up and around, and come back down. So it's a continuous stroke, and they're all this way, but sometimes I'm going to come up this way, and then I'm going to roll it back as I come back. That's what we did right here. So these are flat, but then try one of these where you're up here, you go up. Now roll it back over so it looks like the petal turns, and that makes a pretty magnolia. All right, and then the buds are 1, 2, 3 strokes to get a bud, which is just means it's starting to bloom. Now when that all dries, you're going to make it dry, let it dry a little bit. You can come right in here and put a little bit of brown shaded in there, or I like to use a little bit of the gray to shade it, but whatever you want to shade the white with. But that's what we're going to do first, is let's get the flower petals in, and then we'll worry about all the shading part. Okay? Now, there we go. So let's look at what size this flower is. All right, it's a good spread 4 fingers, all right? And then there's a bud here and here. Okay? I'm going to go back, pick up more white, and I'm going to start, say, here's my center, okay? And it's facing this way over to here. So I'm going to start up here and coming down. All right, so the next one, this one here, I'm going to make it look like that. Now watch, I'm going to lay it over. I love doing that. Okay, right in here. And then we have a couple of large ones that come down here. So make sure you feel comfortable, and then come over here and stroke those in. Now to finish this look on the magnolia is that there's a couple that we put the center in and a couple of strokes that come right in here. So I chisel, push, and come across. So we're up on the chisel. When I say push, I'm like chisel, pressure, and then come up. And those look like petals that are in the middle and another layer of them. All right. So then we're going to come over here and do 1, 2 strokes to make a bud. All right. Now we can shade, like I said, with a couple of different colors, but we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to go over here and put the leaves in like I was talking about earlier. So we got the leaf right there in front of you. I think we'll use just a teeny bit of yellow ochre right here. See that? Let's work this in. It'll give you some depth, because with just the sap green, it just looks dark. And just remember, the back side of a magnolia leaf has this color. All right, so I'm going to come to the end here, and I'm going to have a nice leaf there, and I'm going to pull a stem in. So see how rich that color looks with it? But there were 2 magnolia leaves that come out here. So I'm going to pick up some more paint, And I'm going to go right inside these petals. Push down and stand up. See, it already has like a stem in there. And let's come out here. We'll just do a smooth one. And stand up. Okay. All right, so we've got our green in there. And now we're going to put your center here. So in the center, if you see this, it says use your 2-script liner, and you're going to stroke the brown in here first. So this is our brown mix right here. Remember, yellow ochre, magenta, and some licorice. Okay, so you have plenty of that brown color that we made. All right, so I'm going to, we're looking at this right here, see the downward strokes. In the center, we put the brown, and it looks like a pod in the middle. And then we're going to come in here. I'm going to take some of that off. Let's pick up wicker white. All right, then I'm going to pick up a teeny bit of licorice with the brown. Now watch what happens here. You can practice this right on here. See how we're getting those little teeny pieces of the brown in here. So there's the pod, and then we're going to come up here and fill all those in. Those little accents around here, we're going to fill them in to give you that center to your magnolia. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to get some of this shading so that you can see the turns in the petals. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to just take a little bit on one corner of that brown, the brown mix. Okay, and so we can come in here and along here, and you can mix it a little bit with the gray if you want, some of the gray and the brown. Okay, so we're going to come along here and a little bit in here. So under here, anywhere where the shadow would be, okay? And I'm going to come right along here. So I can put some white in here. And a little bit of white in here. So what happens all along here, it's going to look like a rolled edge of the petal. So we could come back and put some brighter white in there. See where this rolled over? And right here. All right, so if I put a little bit of the brown in here, that's too much. See, a little bit so it's not too brown, but it's just right. Okay. A little bit more white on here, because we don't have to put brown in every petal. All right, now the last 2 strokes on here is putting a little bit of this brown up on, it's got this little thin paper brown sleeve that falls off of this bud. Okay, so there we are. I had so much fun today sharing how easy it is to paint these flowers. They turned out gorgeous. Remember, practicing on the reusable teaching guides right over my strokes gives you so much painting confidence. Thank you for joining me here in the studio. And remember, we just learned one more of the flowers from the A to Z one-stroke floral painting sets. And I would love for you to take pictures and share them on our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group by hashtagging Let's Paint Challenge. Come on, everybody, let's paint.